Hey folks, Would-Be Farmer here. Janet and I, have been here just south of Crescent City, about halfway between Jacksonville and Orlando. We have been here 5 years this month. So it's been 5 years and a couple of weeks. I wanted to show everybody out there what this permaculture student did. Well, what nature did actually when I got out of the way mostly. But what we did here as permaculture students in 5 years. Now, you might be looking at this big oak and thinking, well, you know, that's a little more than 5 years. Yes, of course, this wasn't a completely blank slate when we got here. That is true. The front, as you can see, had a lot of mature oaks. And what was typically going on here was a weekly shave down to the ground of anything that might be growing other than the oaks. A couple of camphors, some interlobium, which we call monkey ear or ear pod, and that's about it. But now I've let a lot of things grow so that we can try to get a food forest going. So this is the front, and I'm just walking from the northwest corner of our about 1.1 acre, but because it's forested all the way around, oh, and wouldn't you know it, I came out to do the video because it was overcast, and right when I do the video, the sun comes out, so I am not sure how this is going to go. It's a lot harder to do a video and have a good, clean video with tons of shadows, but we'll give it a shot. We'll see what happens. We'll do the best we can with what we got. So we have fenced probably about a half, overall about a half of the 1.1 acres that has been deeded to us. And I will say this right from the beginning. I think the history of what my Celt ancestors did, what the Anglo-Europeans did to this continent is egregious, heinous, abhorrent, horrible. And I don't like the system we're in. I'm not sure exactly what to do about it. With what we've inherited, the system we've all inherited, except to try to be the best stewards of the land I can be. Dignity and respect for all life, for all peoples. I know this land is, I hope I'm saying this properly, Temecuen land, Temecuen, and also the Ocali people lived here, First Nations people, indigenous Americans, Native Americans. That being said, and difficulty of this, we will be selling the land and the property probably in the spring of next year, maybe sooner. But I wanted everybody to see this at the 5-year point of what one might expect. From permaculture students. Now we have planted, if I tallied it up totally, we have planted probably through seeds, seedlings, transplants, nursery plants and trees, probably, easily over 1,000. I won't even say probably, easily over 1,000, because the other day I counted over 500 trees, vines, plants that are in existence right now, and I couldn't keep counting. We have, I think, done a pretty good job, given plenty of examples of what to do, as well as examples of what not to do. And keep in mind, as a permaculture enthusiast, as a permaculture student, this was a huge experiment. Lots of trial and error. I was not a 20-year permaculture master by any means. I was learning as I was going. And I'm much thankful to and for Janet, who has kept her busy bones bringing in the money so I could free myself up to do a lot of planting, growing of fruit trees, having some tours and classes, not bringing in tons of money. She has done a wonderful job being my partner in doing this, bringing in the money so I can try to steward this land. Now, we don't have what I would call, or anyone would call, a tidy garden here. That wasn't our point here. We wanted to bring nature in here as much as possible, as I was alluding to earlier, getting out of the way. Let nature do her work. Let the birds come in and eat berries and disperse the seeds and sow the seeds. Try to get the land to a point where it creates its own compost and litter, leaf litter. We brought in over 20 dump truckloads full of wood chips to try to emulate a forest floor. We wanted to get this environment to change from a bacterial environment, which is predominantly what one would find in a grassy area, a grassland, and move that towards a fungal environment, which would be more indicative of a forested area. I've got some Simpson stopper here. Go ahead and eat one of these. Simpson stopper. A native to the area. That bush was planted 5 years ago, and it has already offspringed. Not a master of the English tongue by any stretch. Given birth to a couple of plants itself. A couple of little baby Simpson stoppers have popped up. Anyway, this area right now that I am traversing was at one time a scrub back in the day. And this is a guess by me. I haven't done any awesome research to get that information. It was based on the plants I see popping up. I see lots of prickly pear popping up here. When we arrived, it had been converted into a grassy area, which they mowed and mowed and mowed and mowed every week. But I can see now that before that, it was a scrub area, my belief. Anyway, we are pushing it to succeed towards a forest. And we have transplanted several plants. I've put in some oaks, some American beautyberry, Simpson stopper, Walter's viburnum, native plums. I've put in dogwoods, redwoods, native persimmons. As you've seen, the bananas and loquats and other exotics that I've brought in as well. I've brought in muscadine, lots of mulberry, and letting it do its thing. This is not a Better Homes and Garden. Better Homes and Garden. It's all neat and tidy and looks great in pictures. Now I wanted nature to do its job and come in here, cover the soil with plants, and that's what it's done. In Central Florida where we are, there's plenty of rain, plenty of humidity. I did bring in the exotic bamboos, which you can see here. The bamboos are probably 4 years old, I believe. 3.5, 4 years old. And they're at the point now where we can certainly use them. Use them for construction of small items. Use them for garden poles, walking sticks, which I've got in my hand right now. But anyway, I wanted to give everybody a look here via video. I posted pictures earlier today. Some prefer the still pictures, and in some capacity, still pictures work very well. Videos work well also. I know there's a different time element involved in looking at pictures versus looking at videos. But I wanted to give people an idea of what they can expect after 5 years. Now certainly, we would have been doing probably a whole lot better. Trees would be more mature, more productive. Had I been more knowledgeable at the time, but I was a student. Of course I was a student, and I think we're doing pretty well. Again, we've plenty of examples of what to do, and also examples of what not to do. So anyway, I think I've gone on long enough about this. If anyone is interested in more information, please get a hold of me. You can drop me a note here and let me know what you think. So if you know anybody who might be interested in this, again, we're located halfway between Jacksonville and Orlando in South Putnam County, just south of a small town, Crescent City, about 1,500 people. And I hope you all are having a great day. This is Would Be Farmer, and I'm out.